Hello and welcome, everybody. We are back, and Genesis has another recap for us.
Yeah. So the last time our magnificent bastards had just escaped from Jasper's death trap, our cell's rival turned slasher. And upon escaping, as we were making our way to Rick's helicopter to get out of there, some medical evac, we were approached by Oliver, the local head of the Vascu agents, who very much wanted to have a conversation with us regarding the events that had just unfolded. And Victor elected to stay behind and speak with Oliver. Well, the rest of the group took our injured in tow and retreated to the safety of Rick's penthouse to recover and plan our next steps. Meanwhile, back at the scene of the crime, as it were, Victor informs Oliver that Jasper is dead, and Oliver did not take the news too kindly, and he revealed that Jasper was Vascu's best lead at another individual, seemingly pulling the strings behind these series of attacks. Victor pushes that the monster trapped in the warehouse is a bigger threat, and that Victor and his cell are the best hope at stopping it. However, Oliver rejects the offer, and in a last sort of desperate attempt, Victor reveals that there might be more leads on Jasper, that this wasn't his only trap that he had set, and more nefarious schemes were at play scattered throughout the city of London, and that the group was trying to disarm some sort of dead man switch that would trigger them. Hearing this, Oliver decided to betray the cell and pins Jasper's remaining crimes on us, accusing us of these acts of terrorism and calling in his superiors to capture us. And as Vascu moves to eliminate Victor, he is saved by the rather timely arrival of Quinn, our monstrous associate. Quinn turns into a massive swarm of locusts and devours the Vascu agents, as well as stealing Oliver's body as a new host. Meanwhile, as this is happening, the rest of the group is recovering at Rick's penthouse, just starting to get settled in as they receive a call from Victor as he informs the group of the imminent danger as Vascu is perhaps moving to capture them and that they are not safe. The group immediately turns around and gets that chopper flying back to the warehouse with everyone in tow. And as they come back to the scene, we discover that the transition from of this host entity from Quinn to Oliver has been a bit more problematic than intended. He hasn't woken up yet. The body is still comatose with these dead Vascu agents littered about. And Victor begins to attempt to clean the scene while the rest of the group arrives to provide their assistance as well. And information is shared between the two, and the group decides that our best hope is to get the hell out of here and retreat until we can learn more about the situation. So, with the unconscious body of Oliver and the thing inside of him in tow, we take to the air on Rick's chopper as we tentatively fly towards Ireland, following a more or less gut feeling from Vanessa, some instinct on that part, flying blind perhaps, but nonetheless out of the country. And as we sort of discuss our plans forward, Oliver begins to wake up and reveals some more information as we speak. the last big reveal, shall we say, that Jasper had received a different, shall we say, list of targets in the Black Royale, that he was not hunting monsters. His ticket had revealed that he was to hunt the heads of the London Abbey branch. And with that revelation and our sort of hesitation as to where to go next, we touched down in Ireland with everyone in tow, ready to take our next steps.
And that is exactly where we're going to pick up, as Rick's pilot finds a place that he's legally allowed to set down in Dublin.
For once.
Obviously,
Okay,
if
Vanessa.
I was going to say... I was just going to say, obviously, a few of you are a little injured. Nora's still reeling from some issues that she's had with her encounters.
Few issues.
And that slime does the number on you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's still unconscious, isn't she?
Yeah.
Or close to it. Yeah. Let's
Has
we
it been
need
like an hour or two since it happened?
Yeah, let's Rick's not looking great either. Let's
Yeah, let's make this about Rick.
Oh yeah.
let's find a place to let's find a place to get a bed, get Nora laid down, and get us a doctor.
Yeah. What do we need to do for that? Yeah, Vanessa's like already like trying to like find a place to like for us to like stay, like a hotel or something. Motel, if that's the only thing available. God forbid.
Ew.
Heavens no.
Do you have any properties up here, Vanessa?
I do, but well, we're being, they're all publicly listed, and
Yeah.
we could stay at them, but
Places we're not connected to would be preferable.
yeah,
Yeah.
if we're desperate.
I think a hotel is a fine accommodation.
Do they have a Four Seasons in Dublin?
Probably have like a Holiday Inn or something.
You speak heresy.
I mean,
Fine. We'll go find a freaking red roof somewhere or something if y'all want to slum it.
wouldn't be the first time you guys had to slum it. Memories float back to the first night that you guys met. Or not the first night you met, but the night
Our
before.
encounter with the black dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That very small motel room.
All right. Let's call. Let's get an Uber or a Lyft or something and find a motel. And Nathan, can you call the doctor that we had in London and get a referral from somebody in Dublin? See if we can get somebody to come treat Nora.
Nathan eventually gives a nod, still dealing with a little bit of pain of his own, but he starts making phone calls.
Once we pick a hotel and get like a car to head there, Rick's gonna make some phone calls too, so we can fill it up with the flowers and balloons and cards that were supposed to be in his other at the penthouse. That way, when Nora wakes up, there's all the flower, and every time she reads a card, it's another one from Rick. It's another one from Rick. It's another one from Rick.
Do you not want Nora to heal?
Oh.
Out of curiosity, who isn't hurt?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think
Okay.
Cecil's feeling pretty good.
Okay.
About time.
Yeah,
I know,
that last
right?
Vegas thing kind of did rock us up.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll head that way then to wherever it is we find. I suppose.
It's not a Holiday Inn, and it's not just a Red Roof as they're called. It is a more upscale place. Black credit cards still work, so they haven't frozen assets yet. If that's
I imagine we're probably paying by cash, if anything.
Yeah, probably.
fair enough, who's got cash on them?
I imagine I had some in my go bag.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I've got a go back that doesn't have cash.
Cecil often carries cash, as you know. Lots of places he goes to might not accept cards.
Fair
with
enough.
the kind of money we have.
Same
and the
story
kind
with
of work
Vanessa
we
as
do.
well.
Yeah, like I can't imagine most of us don't have a substantial amount of cash in our go bags.
Maybe not.
You-
Nora, but
Yeah, you can't like bribe locals in dive bars with information by handing them your black card. Like, it doesn't work that
do
way.
you accept credit cards as bribes?
Yeah. So and then
Venmo.
like
Venmo you this bribe.
yeah.
And then
so
you
I,
put in like the note bribe.
yeah.
With heart emojis.
And like the kind of people that we buy off sometimes, yeah, I can't. We've got to have cash. There's no way.
All right. Well, you're able to get a decent room. Not the best room. Not a penthouse that you guys are likely used to, but it's essentially 2 rooms with an adjoining door. Because there are, well, 6 of you.
Yeah. But Vanessa and Nora in one probably, and the rest of us in the other.
Technically, there's 7. Sorry, there's 7 of you.
Oh yeah, Quinn's around, isn't he? Yeah. So he's sticking around
Yeah.
with us?
Oliver now.
Oliver?
8 then.
Yep.
Oh.
He's conscious, but struggling, right?
He's moving around on his own. He's not needing aid to walk around, so
Just going slow.
Oh, it's that Claire girl, isn't it?
yes.
Yes.
Victor's touchstone.
Yeah.
The one we
Yeah.
saved.
Physically.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get the doctor in there
Yeah.
and
I'd like,
get everything set up and Vanessa, what can we do to figure out where to go from here?
I
mean,
don't know.
while
Maybe
we're
walk
here-
around the airport a bit. I'm gonna. Like,
You-
I know I got a name, but like, there's not much to go on.
All right.
Theranos.
What is it?
Theranos. Some kind of god or something. Around Ireland
Wasn't
or
that-
whatever.
Theranos?
Maybe when Nora's awake, she can dig into it a little bit. She's a little bit better on
Yeah,
that type of
Nora's much
research than-
better at this stuff than
Yeah.
I am.
Speaking of waking up, it has. The weight of the last day has kind of started to weigh on everybody now. There is a bit of. If tiredness is a weakness, then you're weak, so to speak.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, let's maybe a nap. Maybe pick up within the morning. Or do you want to go to the airport, walk around, see if we can get an idea of things, and then come back and crash out, and then pick it up fresh in the morning?
Yeah. I'll take a walk around there. Yeah, I'll get like a cab or Uber or whatever to there. Check it out.
Need or want company?
Nah, I think I'm good.
Good. All right.
You get your sleep. There's a lot of Long Island you took that just now.
Not enough. They helped me do the pretending part.
I like that game. We should do it some more later.
The pretending?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a whole corner on the internet for it.
Don't want to know.
Victor and Cecil?
Wouldn't mind getting some rest.
Yeah, Victor was injured in the last attack and is probably eager to get some rest. But knowing the situation, I do think Victor would check in on Oliver and see how he's handling himself. Mostly because Victor is working under the assumption that the longer Oliver is AWOL, the more risk we have of successfully disentangling ourselves from this situation. So I think he's eager to get Oliver's new host back into the fray.
All right. So, Vanessa, cabs aren't too hard to find. Matter of fact, when you open up Uber, you generally get a cab company, actually, in Ireland. I know this for a fact.
You been to Ireland?
Yes.
Jealous.
So, as you make your way to the airport is relatively small, let's just say. It's not one of the larger international airports you've ever been in. Parts of it are still sectioned off for some sort of renovation that they're doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna just like have like a walk around, try to like get like a feeling like of like the place, like try to just like see if like anything seems familiar. I know I've been like apparently here before, but I really don't remember anything about that. It's where like the last little bit of information that I have about what happened terminates. So yeah.
All right, go ahead and give me your remembrance roll.
It's composure and wits.
Yes.
3 successes.
As you kind of wander about, you get hints of things here and there, but a lot of it's just like, I just know this because it's an international airport. It's one of those feelings. It isn't until you get to one location. Specifically the security checkpoint.
Oh.
Where you're shot and killed.
I had a memory, it's probably the security.
It is very much... You do remember a certain altercation. You remember one of your... Well, from what you've been able to piece together, you would assume it would be one of your cellmates. They were caught with a bit of what would be classified as contraband, and were stopped. And it was one of the... It was definitely... You're getting the feeling it was one of those... Of course they would stop us. They're deliberately doing this to harass us, and you do remember at least 3 broken noses that you inflicted upon the security here.
That's probably worthy of a police report if I've ever heard of anything. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'll like sit on that for like a moment and getting the feeling that I'm not not much else is coming along. I'll head back towards the motel.
While this is going on, Victor, your discussion with Quinn. Quinn's or as Rick has so affectionately nicknamed them, Quiniver, is kind of sitting on one of the hotel beds, just, head in his hand, just very clearly rubbing his temple.
Are you, doing alright? Is there anything I can do for you?
This guy, his abilities are quite annoying. I always explained it like the last guy was somewhat conscious, somewhat unconscious of what was going on. This guy is fully conscious and is constantly kicking me. You know that kid in the back of in the seat behind you on the airplane that is just ramming his heels into the back of your headrest? That's what it feels like.
Well, that's nice and all, but how do we silence this child? Or is he going to run out of steam eventually?
That is the question of the century now, isn't it? I honestly don't have any information regarding that for you. At this point, and you can tell he's really in quite a bit of pain, but he's pushing himself through it. Nothing to do but push through it at this time.
Well, if there's anything that I can get you in the meantime to ease this transition, don't hesitate to ask.
I don't plan on hesitating to ask. However, I know I was to take this body for a reason. I'm eager to get on that reason and maybe find a more compliant host.
Fair enough. Did you have something in mind?
I had hoped you had already had a plan for what you needed me to do.
I was referring to a new host, but as far as plans are concerned, things have been a bit complicated, as I am sure you are full aware. I don't expect you to throw yourself onto this fire, obviously, but anything you can do to slow and or derail this investigation would be much appreciated. Though, understandably, the situation has been complicated, and that might be a more difficult task than I had anticipated, especially given your current predicament and the slow accumulation of memory makes that sort of social engineering a bit precarious.
He kind of sighs. I have a running gist of the last couple of days. It's workable, the last couple of days. I have most of the last 24 hours. I feel confident in making a phone call. Now, for how well that's gonna go, how comfortable are you with faking your own death?
We've come close to death a number of times. I don't think that faking it would be out of the ordinary for us, but that might pose some difficulties. Again, I can't speak for the rest of the group.
Well, I don't need you to here. I am referring to just you in this particular situation. My understanding of the last day was Oliver here encountered you, pulled in the threat with you. Oh, there's no reason for them not to believe that their unit is more than capable of taking you out. Whether or not you were more skilled or not and took out more than just a couple of them, that's something else entirely. It is feasible that maybe Oliver, was able to neutralize you, which might slow things down a bit if they think that you were neutralized.
I suppose that's plausible. I don't quite see how it spares the rest of our cell from this, but
I could argue head of the snake argument.
possible. If need be. Ideally, I'd like to deal with this problem a bit more permanently, perhaps. These investigative types typically don't like leads left unturned, per se. And I doubt, given my profession, I can stay underground for too long.
Or, option number 2. You give me another name. Somebody I can sick them on. Somebody that they can dig their teeth into. Your group was the patsy. This is the real guy. Since that seems to be what they were believing to begin with.
Now that's a plan I can really work with. I mean, I was considering trying to eliminate them entirely, but again, I don't understand the full extent of their numbers, and it's possible that eliminating the reinforcements is only going to send more our way. But I do like your suggestion better. And I do have someone in mind, someone of interest. I think might be applicable. We have our suspicions, of course. I mean, you heard us discussing on the right here. There is a degree of interest around a prominent member of our society, a Maximilian Strauss. And although I can't necessarily confirm anything as of yet, I have the deepest of suspicions that he is behind this and may in fact be connected to Jasper and his crimes in some real fashion, not just some errant patsy for this crime. If we can switch suspicion that way, that would be ideal. Perhaps you might be able to delay or disorient a bit until we can gather something a bit more concrete, unless you think what we have now is sufficient interest for this organization, this Vasco.
This Strauss person. The previous body had very, very little memories about Strauss. He was a leader of some sort, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, though the degree of his authority has been, shall we say, drawn into question as of recently.
That, I mean, I think the way for me to go about it is I'm offering them the head of what they think is the Ashwood Abbey, essentially, on a platter to them. If you could give me whatever details you have of him, I'll make that phone call.
Yeah. We have some resources, but this is a large decision. I don't want to be making it for myself on behalf of all of us. Maybe in the morning have a chance to talk with everyone and see if this is what we want to agree on. It's late anyway. It'd be a bit of an odd time, I imagine, to get on this. But nonetheless, think we can postpone this decision for a bit.
I imagine rather than asleep quite yet, Rick's probably waiting on the doctor to get there, and it's kind of like propped up over by the door, kind of half listening for like a knock on the door. It's like, Victor, fuck Strauss, hand him over. Sorry.
Well, I'll count that as one vote. But
you know Vanessa doesn't like him.
Yes, I'm trying to be courteous, Rick. I don't want to. I don't want to be presumptuous of our.
The man twisted the Royal Regatta, and then had a cell hunting hunters under his employ.
Yes.
It's true.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Rick. I'm trying to be polite about this.
If you were nothing else, Victor, if you were nothing else.
Well, I strive to be, though I do unfortunately need a change of clothes. First thing in the morning, I imagine. Bit suspicious to be walking around in this, and kind of reveals like the half-singed, shirt and whatnot. I'm sure the rest of the cell is in various
Rick looks down like
stages
the pierced bloody holes in his clothing. Is like, yeah, I gotcha.
all the slime and everything.
I imagine this is where I walk in and I'm like, all right, I'm back, and I toss a T-shirt at Victor that I picked up at the airport, and it just quite simply says, "I heart Ireland."
Oh, good God.
Is it like sage green? Is like, or like,
Oh, yeah, the hearts, yeah, oh, yeah.
And instead of a heart, it has a shamrock.
Yes.
Yeah. And like the shirt itself is like heather red, so it's like almost pink, but not quite pink. It looks more like a red that just got washed improperly too many times, So you can't tell if it's supposed to be that color, if it just wasn't well taken care of.
All right. We're overly
it has to
focused.
Be tie-dye. It's a tie-dye shirt.
Overly focused on the shirt.
Oh, come on.
Everybody.
Like a million of those shirts. Everybody thinks every time somebody comes back from vacation, they always bring me one of those goddamn shirts, and I got like shirts from all over the world, for that, and I've never touched. They're all horribly, horribly unfashionable, even for me.
I'll make sure to bring you a very ugly I Heart Chicago shirt when I come visit you, Brown.
Thank you. I'll put it with the others. I'll go right next to my New York one.
With that, everybody's able to find some measure of sleep. The next morning, not a word is really spoken up until everybody's had a shower, had food ordered and delivered to the place. Even Nora has been able to somewhat drag herself out of bed into the shower and gotten some breakfast, even though every part of her body hurts.
Yeah, I was gonna say how. I have like so many points of damage. I have 5 asterisks or 4 asterisks and 3 X's. I'm like,
It's the sheer motivation provided to you by the number of flowers and balloons there to wish you on the speedy recovery before you get the shower and everything. When you start to open the cards and realize what has been done.
tell Rick I'm allergic to flowers.
I feel like that would just encourage him.
God damn it.
So, with that, the group, Sans, Oliver, and Claire, who are currently using the other room, to the best of everybody's knowledge, Oliver has not slept. Oliver has been on the phone all night.
I imagine if like he was making calls and stuff, Rick would plug his phone in and turn on like one of those recorder apps and then put the phone like face down and lock it and just leave it there so that he could record at least the Oliver side of the conversations that was going on that were happening while he was asleep so he could listen to them later.
Fair enough.
If that's okay.
Yeah, no, perfectly fine.
Feels like a kind of thing he would do.
However, or not however, you guys finally have a moment to talk. As stated, Nora still looks like she probably shouldn't be out of bed, but is.
Let us fight.
What's the matter, Nora? Is your room not comfortable?
No response.
Just dead glare.
Rick will stay deadpan. Rick just stays deadpan until she breaks. You're welcome.
Yeah. Victor, what do you like? I know you got something to do with the cops in London, but do you have any like pull and with the cops here?
I might be able to squeeze something. It's a bit more tenuous. It might be a bit of an ask, but I can try. I imagine the police probably communicate on some function between here in the mainland. But I can't necessarily guarantee you anything, but I can try.
Yeah, I think I got in a fight with some of the customs officers in the airport last time I was here. And I'm thinking maybe there's a police report about it.
Well, at least it's a simple request.
Yeah.
That perhaps makes it a little more viable. I can see what I can do. But speaking of authority figures, I may have us a way out of our predicament. These agents, this organization, they're looking for someone to pin this to, and although we are the current target, per se, that doesn't necessarily mean the buck stops with us.
Okay.
We might be able to shift the attention, the blame, if you will, to someone perhaps a bit more deserving, perhaps?
Like Rick?
Oh, for the love of God, Victor! No, we can throw Kane guy under the bus if we want to. we can throw Ken Guy under the bus.
Strauss. Maximilian Strauss.
Yeah, I'll learn his name one day when he becomes important enough, but we can throw him under the bus.
I'm down.
Told you.
Yeah, why not?
Better him than us, I suppose.
100%.
Better him than most people I've met, honestly.
Well,
Like-
as long as we're all agreed on this gross betrayal of our organization, I'm confident in moving forward in this.
Oh yeah. Totally cool with betraying a guy who put together an event designed to kill off as many hunters as possible. 100%.
Oh yes, I'm not suggesting that he doesn't deserve it.
I don't think-
I'm suggesting the rest of the London Abbey may not see it that way were they to catch wind of this.
I don't think there is a rest of the London Abbey. I think he betrayed the Ashwood Abbey, and I think we're bringing justice to him for that on behalf of those in Edinburgh who have not the information yet to do so.
Yes, perhaps. Although I admit I would prefer to handle things in-house, but necessities of circumstance.
Speaking of,
Did you ever get in contact with that Baxter fellow?
no, that's what I was just gonna say. I should shoot him a message and see if he's got people up here. Maybe he's up here. He wants to take a drive. Maybe there's something he can do to help out, or information he could provide for us that might be helpful. I did him a couple of favors on his way out. The whole spotlight on Strauss thing. He had asked for a clean break out of the building, and that was me giving it to him.
I do think it's a good idea to reconnect with the rest of the Abbey where we can. It might provide some illumination on the subject.
Pretty sure he was using a burner phone, but just because you've got a burner phone doesn't mean you've trashed it. And if the only person he knows with the way to contact it and reach it has done nothing but favors, then maybe it's still an open line.
And worst comes to worst, we can always just take another hop across the pond and make a visit in person.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Rick will, I think he'll call rather than text. That way it gets his attention if he has the phone on and near him. He'll give Baxter a call.
Was his name actually Baxter?
I believe so,
Memory is
yeah.
faltering.
You've been punched in the face a lot, it's okay. I'm pretty sure you're correct, though. I'm pretty sure it was Baxter. But yeah, Rick will give him a call.
The line is still active, but it does go to voicemail.
Kind of expected.
So what exactly is the voicemail that you leave, or do you even leave one?
I think what Rick will say is, I'd like to talk in person. I'm the one that did you the favors. And I think I've got some interesting stories to tell. Reach me when you can. That's it. No names or numbers or anything. This guy's shown some skill. So, and Rick called from his burner, which probably has like a garbled caller ID or something, but he assumes that, because Because Rick's primary smartphone is probably turned off so that they can't be tracked via known accounts and stuff. But yeah, he assumes the guy's shown some skill. He assumes that either he's capable of doing what needs to be done to get back in touch with him, or he has someone in his direct employ who is capable of handing him a thing where he can push a button and do it. Either way.
With that, no response is going to be immediate in this particular situation. So, while some of you obviously want to recover your wounds, others have certain mysteries that they want to uncover. How does everybody make do with their time?
Oh, go ahead.
You get first now.
I think for the most part, Victor is going to make sure that, Oliver seems pretty self-sufficient, but he's going to check in with Claire, make sure that she's doing all right, and if need be, find transportation to get her back to London if that's what she wants, rather than keeping her cooped up with all of us. But aside from that, if we're spending some significant time recovering, I think Victor will probably do some more research into the slug creature that is currently contained within the warehouse, hopefully trying to find some means of killing and or disabling it.
All right. Let me make a... This is going to be an extended action. All right, I have a target goal in mind. What's your role? Or this is going to be what? Investigation, intelligence?
Intelligence occult, maybe, for investigating the monster?
Okay, so how many rolls do you have?
6 in that regard.
So you have 6 die. Yeah, okay. That seems like a decent goal that I had thought, so go ahead and give me your first roll.
Sure. Roll number 1. And, you know what? I'll spend a point of willpower on it. Why not?
You've rested and regained one.
yeah, I got a free point. Why not? 6 successes on roll number 1.
All right, so you know what that means.
Indeed.
You can reduce the time, reduce the number of successes needed, or take a special effect.
I think I'll go with the special effect. Any more information I can get on this is more important than timetable, I feel.
All right. So this is going to be 1 per week for the roll.
Sure.
All right, so that takes you down to... All right. I wouldn't call that enough progress quite yet.
Fair enough.
But you're starting... Yeah, you're starting to collect more information, more than what you previously had, because you already had some. So, while Victor is doing that,
I think Rick would be spending his time basically going all in on using all of his like hacker abilities, and then his contacts on alternate identities and stuff like that. Maybe even leaning on Victor a little bit for some like law enforcement contacts, but going all in on Strauss. Like where he's lately been he's in the past been focused on more like broader nets, what can I get, kind of lateral movements through different accounts and systems and things like that belong to the London Abbey. I think he's becoming more pointed, and it's moving into more of a spearfishing thing, where he's very targeted in the type and scope of information he's looking for, and he's going to start doing things in addition to using access to the things he already has access to, attempting to gain access to like Strauss's phones, email accounts, freaking PayPal account, anything he can get. All right. Targeted Pegasus style malware, targeted stuff, links, things like that. Setting up brute force stuff on various accounts that he could maybe use to once he can then maybe use that to authenticate himself into other stuff. Everything. He's going full in on trying to acquire the keys to Strauss's life and identity.
So with that, this is also going to be an extended action for you as well. I have a target number of successes already in mind. This is going to be intelligence plus computer for you, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
How many dice do you have for that? Which is
intelligence plus computer plus I have a specialization in hacking.
Just the skills. Just the two.
Just the skills. 9.
9. Okay, so you have 9 rolls to complete this, once per week.
Okay.
And because of your previous endeavors into the London mainframe, I will say you get
2
plus 2.
12.
Yeah.
2. Cool. So that'll be 11, and then I get another one for my specialization, so it's 12, and then I get an asset, and then it's also an asset skill. Computers are, so it makes it 9 again. And then I'm gonna use a willpower because I just rested and got one back. So we're gonna promptly burn it again to roll 9 again with 15 dice.
All right, give me that roll.
Oh, it's gonna be crap. The more dice I have, the fewer successes I get. That's just how it is. 3 freaking successes. Told you.
All right.
Magic.
So, with that's
what it is.
Nora, I'm assuming. What are you going to be doing next?
Playing Animal Crossing.
Obviously, the doctor at this point has arrived and is, doing patchwork, making sure that you're not gonna die from these injuries, essentially.
Okay, good.
They're just, the road to recovery just might be a little bit more difficult.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I need to make for long-term care, it's intelligence or...
It's intelligence long-term, yeah.
You guys pay for the best doctors, you guys get the best doctors.
And I think it's an extended roll of difficulty equal to the number of damage taken. And I think the interval's 1 hour per roll.
I
think.
Maybe.
Double checking.
Well, we're gonna start off with 4 successes right off the bat for this doctor that came in.
So what does that mean for me?
One point. The successes needed 10 successes for a point of aggravated or 5 for a point of lethal.
So,
And he heals the leftmost injury first, so he needs 10 successes.
so he'll be taking care of aggravated first. All right.
Yeah.
So, I am just gonna make kind of a set of batch rolls here, real quick.
Oh yeah, he's done it. 2 rolls. He's here for about a couple hours.
Yeah. So you've healed 1 aggravated within the first 2 hours of this doctor being here.
Oh, it downgrades the aggravated to lethal.
Downgrades to ag to lethal. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I do that by clicking the little box, right?
Yeah. Oh, you click it 3 times to turn aggravated to lethal. And that'll heal in 2 days. So we're already day 1 through the first thing. So tomorrow you should heal your first lethal.
Yeah, so realistically he's actually gonna stay there for over 24 hours. So like I'm not gonna sit here and make 24 rolls as he continues work, but
Well, you can only downgrade 1 wound per patient per day, so...
okay.
Yeah. So
Well, technically
he's
then
done what he can.
he can work on Rick or Victor now, I guess.
How's
I have
Rick
4
looking?
X's. I have 4 X's. I don't know what that means.
For
full
lethal.
4 lethal.
Yeah, we're both the same. Flip a coin, maybe.
Take care of Victor first. He'll just kind of like the doctor comes to him and he's like, "Nah, take care. Get the rest. Get everybody else." Kind of pushes him off and goes back to his computer.
Already succeeded in the first 2 hours of that day with Victor. Rick. Succeeds. So essentially in 6 hours he's helped everybody.
What does that mean for my health boxes? What do I do?
It degrades one of them down to a point of bash.
Yeah,
And
your
then-
left
Which heals in
most-
15 minutes. So
Well, you heal rightmost first, so...
no, you left.
Is it?
It downgrades leftmost, which then I think.
Natural healing affects the rightmost.
I'll double check.
Oh, so
So it downgrades from the left and it heals from the right.
Gotcha.
interesting.
So, this doctor has been making fine work. Vanessa and Cecil.
Yeah, I want to check my properties like around Dublin. Like, if I came here to Dublin, like at some point, like with like a cell, I probably like stayed at one of my properties unless I was like being hunted by something. So
Some company?
yeah, sure. I imagine like if I probably stayed any place in Dublin, it's like probably like a hotel that I own or something. Yeah.
I picture like a duplex Airbnb style where it's like
I imagine it's like somewhat like it's not like like incredibly like it's probably like would be like most profitable for the area. Like it's probably like some like middle class like hotel. I don't know. Like but like it's probably like yeah. It's like nice to stay at. Not exactly like super cheap. Like mainly aimed at like tourists and stuff. Yeah.
You've got a few properties in the area. Ireland's not necessarily one of your major holdings, though.
Yeah, like it's like nearby, so like I don't have like a whole lot of like places to, like visit, so yeah, so mainly like checking these places out, trying to get like a feel, like maybe like I'd stayed here at some point or visited, and like see if I can like dig up any more memory. Getting to feel like I'm playing like a game of Mummy more than a game of Hunter at this point.
Unfortunately for you, None of these properties seem to ring any bells, at least without actually going to them.
Oh, like I was visiting them and checking them out, yeah.
Oh, you're physically going?
Yeah, physically checking them out, yeah.
Yeah, that's why Cecil was like, want some company?
Yeah, I could use somebody to help me break in without drawing a lot of attention.
So, don't you just have the keys? Didn't we cover this?
I don't have I don't carry the keys to every single property I own on me.
She's also a very hands-off owner.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah, like I let
she
it.
could probably
I let
arrange to get the keys, but that involves making phone calls to people who then know we're in town.
Yeah, I don't want to attract that kind of attention, so I'll probably be looking at breaking into my own properties.
One of the... we'll just choose a property here. It's a nice middle-income townhouse. It is not real... You will be breaking in, but it's not like anybody's gonna care, because it is currently unoccupied.
Okay.
Always feels like a nice place to start.
Yeah, I'll like walk around like the neighborhood like a little bit, like try to like see if like I'm getting any sort of like any feelings around here, and then if that doesn't turn up much, I look at the property a bit more. I like try to like look into like the windows, see if I can see anything, and after that point, if nothing happens, that's when I probably like approach from like the back of the house to see if I can crack open a window or something.
All right. I am gonna actually require a stealth roll here.
You know, we might be able to be quiet if there's a second floor that isn't as secured as the first.
I don't know if this particular property has that. Might be a bit of
It does have a second floor. However, this isn't to do with the actual breaking in at this point. This is to do with Vanessa very clearly looking into a house's windows, etc.
Yeah, I was gonna say casing the place.
Yeah. Would you say like wits and stealth or dexterity and stealth, like, or maybe composure and stealth if I'm like trying to like do it like on the sly, like if
well,
I'm like standing out in the open here and I'm just like, oh, like I like look in and I'm trying to like make it look like I'm not like doing anything particularly illegal.
Well, how is Vanessa doing it?
They're all the same to me, so I'll probably go the composure route.
All right, give me composure plus stealth.
I have not spent any willpower so far today, so I'll spend my 1 point. I want this to succeed. Didn't need it. Did not need that.
Oh, hold on.
4 successes.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I didn't mean for it to be on 9 again. That's my fault, but 1 still works. Let me go ahead and just give a second roll without the 9 again.
Oh! Damn! Why'd you do that to me? 5 successes on 2 dice. Not 2 dice, 4 dice. What the hell?
Meanwhile, 15 and 3.
So,
Dice gods are cruel, uncaring.
They are.
They are cruel and uncaring.
Vanessa, it doesn't take very long for you to... Same with Cecil here. The neighborhood watch, or whatever stands for the equivalent of it in this neighborhood, is now eyeballing Vanessa quite heavily. Cecil, you see
Cecil's gonna wave.
You notice the, blinds opening, the curtains being open, people peeking out.
We're just checking out a house that we want to rent.
Like, do you not see the vacancy sign?
Seems perfectly reasonable to me.
Still don't normally go. They're not as far as you know, they haven't called the police or anything like that. But you are certainly being watched now.
I'll come back later.
I mean, you seen
probably when it's
windows?
like nighttime and people are sleeping,
As for what you saw when you did look in the windows, because you still looked in them.
I did.
It is fully furnished which is always a nice bonus. You don't have to buy furniture.
Mm-hmm.
It is still relatively dark on the inside, except for the areas that got decent amount of natural light and didn't have curtains pulled on you.
Oh wait, people inhabiting here? I thought there was vacant.
No, it's a fully furnished rental unit.
Okay, and the people like are inside, like closing the curtains.
No, the curtains were already pulled closed.
Okay. I thought for a moment somebody was like actually in there.
You're like, wait, somebody's squatting? I have an issue.
You have to talk to your property manager about that because open windows helps people feel like a place is friendly and wants to rent it.
However, from what you can see, there isn't a whole lot that all of a sudden jogs your memory, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah. Feeling the watchful eye of the public, I will leave for now. Probably come back later. Maybe check out like a different property, and then come back to this one at a more opportune time.
With that, anything Victor and Rick want to do with the last remaining, or with the remaining time in the day? There we go.
I don't think so. I think what he's doing, and then letting the doctor take care of him, and that's probably about it, honestly.
Yeah, I imagine Victor's confident that Oliver can handle himself, and he's just doing what he can to continue his research.
All right, so I'm gonna propose this. How long does everybody want to stay down, essentially? The reason I ask this is because we have 2 long-term projects with both Rick and Victor. We also have 3 long-term healing projects with Rick, Nora, and Victor.
I imagine we're definitely looking at like a few weeks of like, going to ground here.
With the doctor coming in on a regular, I'm good in like 4 to 5 days as far as healing wise. But I've got my research.
Nora's, yeah, the big question here.
Yeah, other people, sure.
So, with that, I am gonna say we are going to skip ahead 2 weeks. Just because otherwise this is going to just be a very long process here. So, if I can go ahead and get Rick and Victor to make 2 rolls for their long-term projects here.
All right.
Another 2, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Both of those will obviously have willpower as well.
Basically, everybody will also be now full of willpower. Rick?
So and then I'll use the inspired condition on the second roll.
What are you... Also, you need to choose how you want to, affect it. Do you want the special effect? Do you want to reduce the number of successes? Or do you want to reduce the amount of time between rolls?
From my exceptional success?
Yes.
I think reduce the number of successes because I think getting this information as fast as possible is critical.
So okay. So I need 1 more roll from you, Rick.
All right. And when I burn the inspired condition, what does that do?
Exceptional on 3 rather than 5.
And
Alright,
it gives you a point of
Yep. And a beat.
a point of willpower and beat, yeah.
Yep. So I'll do that on the second roll, which is great because I got 4, so that is 2 exceptional successes. So it puts me at 14 total with 2 exceptional.
What's the second exceptional bonus that you want?
I think the second exceptional is reducing the time between rolls.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna actually override you here and say that it's gonna be the special.
Oh, okay.
The reason I'm doing that is because the way the reduce the number of successes is you reduce it by the number of the number of successes. So you basically double up on your successes.
Oh.
Also,
so I went from 10 to 20 essentially.
Yeah. So, real quick though, Victor, I see here you rolled a 4. Did you want to burn your inspired on that?
I have inspired, but it's for empathy.
You would have also gotten inspired for this because you got a exceptional success on your first roll.
Oh, yeah, sure for that. Yeah, why not?
Reducing the number of time between rolls or reducing the number of successes?
Let's reduce the number of successes, I guess.
Okay. All right, so that puts you at 2 different locations. Rick, I can just toss away the sticky note for you.
Yeah, because that put me at like 24 total, right?
Yes, it did.
Effectively, yeah.
So before I start harping on that, Vanessa and Cecil, you guys have hit a number of properties of Vanessa's in the last couple of weeks. Most of them are rather uninteresting. Even that first one turned out to be remarkably mundane. However, that isn't the only thing that you guys have been doing, obviously. I'm sure there's been some other investigative work.
Yeah, probably if Victor has come up with anything with that police report that I was looking into originally.
Police reports.
His allies have been. Yeah, sorry.
Police reports are actually going to be somewhat easy to come across. The issue, but you're pretty sure you found the incident. However, you can't be 100% certain because your name isn't on it, Vanessa, as you would have been a minor at the time.
I would have been really young, damn.
I stated the image looked like you may have been like 16 or something from the fake passport.
Yeah. Teenage Vanessa already getting in scraps. Oh. It's bad right from the beginning.
Feels legit.
However, it seems like one of your former cell members gave a little bit of information. Just the numbers 53.1425.
And I get that number again.
Yes.
53.1425,
comma, -6.35325.
So minus 6 was it?
Yes.
-6.35 dot.
It's -6.35325.
Oh, 325. Okay, cool. Vanessa doesn't know what long latitude and longitude are. I
feel like Cecil would.
I'm like looking, like pointing at, like, what could that mean? Like, what do these numbers mean?
If Cecil didn't, Rick would certainly recognize them, and Nathan as well from military time.
Eventually, Vanessa would just give up and Google it. What's this mean?
So, at this point, I would say Rick and Victor are probably fully healed. Nora?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have any more aggravated damage. This doctor's too good for that.
Sweet.
So I would also say, not only do you not have any aggravated damage, but reduce the number of lethal damage you have by half.
Okay. And then does that reduce from the right to left then?
Right to left.
Yes, right to left.
So it's just bashing is just the one.
Bashing is just the slash, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd heal it so you just go straight to a clear box.
So do I have then 4 lethal and 3 bashing?
You would just have 3 lethal.
Okay. But I have a question actually.
Yes.
Because I now have the condition that I'm addicted to watching powers being used.
And you've been sitting here for 2 weeks without able to see anything.
Unless I saw it in the internet. Does that count? Does it have to be in person?
Special powers, Google search, internet. What's that gonna come up with?
Probably lots of inappropriate stuff.
Yes.
That or like advertisements for the newest HBO series of like True Blood or something.
Does that count? Does like fictitious?
No,
Like
fictitious was not. You've seen the real stuff.
Are you? That would be like trying to use sugar to get high. Like,
do that. It's like it's a different high.
like raw
Take
white
a lot
powder.
of sugar.
Yeah.
But, a quick Google search of those numbers reveals to me Wicklow Mountains National Park, perhaps maybe an hour out a drive away from Dublin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
With that, I feel like I need to start in on what. Rick, if you could formulate your if you could formulate it into a question that I may answer in more succinct fashion.
Who is Maximilian Strauss, and what is he trying to do?
Maximilian Strauss is an American-born philanthropist, we'll put it like that, or at least he has been for many, many years. He is known to be part of several illustrious country clubs all around the world, known for giving away tons and tons of money to charities. This is all, of course, very surface level information. It isn't until you get a bit deeper that you find he is a dual card member of the Ashwood Abbey and a somewhat unknown club in Philadelphia, known only to a select few as the Hunt Club.
Dun, dun, dun.
As you kind of dig into what this Hunt Club is, you find its roots tracing back within the Abbey itself. Apparently it was a splinter section, a splinter faction, if you will. And Jasper's behavior lines up almost perfectly with what they would consider a prime candidate.
They like frat boy chads. Cool.
No, not necessarily in that. They partake in the most dangerous of games. They'll
One thing
hunt.
more dangerous than monsters are the things that can kill the monsters.
They'll hunt monsters. Don't get them wrong. They will still more than happily hunt down a werewolf. But should a werewolf not show up in the next week, they'll take this guy over here that, you know, just seems interesting to them. However, despite everything, the trail somewhat goes cold there. It seems like whatever he's been doing has been extremely under wraps. As you talk about your penthouse, shells within shells within shells, that's essentially what's going on here. It has become a tangled mess. However, that does give you the very important information that this isn't just something that was done on a whim. This is something that has been in the works for probably decades. This is something that Strauss has been working on, planning, and it probably been a pet project of his.
Man,
For
I'd
decades.
like him if I didn't hate him so much. I'll take everything I can find. And put it together in a nice, pretty clean dossier and hand it to Guinevere. And so kind of about a week and a half in or so, I don't know where I got the information. I imagine there's probably, I don't know, like a OneDrive account or like a poorly secured AWS server, or maybe he clicked one of my spearphishing links on his phone where I was able to put like a Pegasus style set of malware on it, and I was able to start to pull some of this Trove data up. But I'll parse it, I'll format it, I'll make it nice and easily readable. I'll attach all the raw files that I pulled the data from unmolested, so to speak, and I'll hand that to him. I say, can't turn their nose up at this, then you're not who I thought you were. And I'll hand it to him.
Also, with the amount of information that Victor has obtained, I would say you have definitely made significant progress at this point. So I'm going to kind of treat this as if it were a tactic, almost.
Okay.
Basically just giving you the same questions that you would have asked during, I think it would be a is it ID? Or is it monster lore?
In this case, it would have been more akin to monster lore, specifically because we're trying to find a way to harm it.
So treat it as if you had rolled, obviously a success. So success here, Hunter learns 1 weakness, 1 dread power. Actually, I'll say, just treat it as or a regular success for now.
On 1 success on it. Yes, well, since that was my stated goal, let's jump off with the 1 weakness.
This creature is incredibly resistant to everything, as you've somewhat become painfully aware of. Unfortunately, it seems like the best way to deal with it is a certain concoction made from refined blood.
How does one refine blood?
That is there's a number of paranormal discussion boards about refining it with occult processes. Some of it dips into alchemy and starts talking about Azoth and all these different alchemical procedures. However, at a certain point, you're kind of just, you would stare at all this and going, well, a lot of this could just be meaningless drivel, people not knowing what the hell they're talking about. However, that does seem to be, it doesn't seem, from what you can tell, to kill it, at least not, nothing that anything that you can find ever discusses about it dying. However, it certainly slows and weakens it considerably.
Okay, so start.
I would also feel like a week is enough time. A couple of weeks is enough time. A knock at the door is heard. Of your hotel door.
Real quick, before whatever that is happens. Where in this 2 to 3 weeks, I think it's been 3 weeks total, has, did he get this bit of information?
This would have been, it was on your third roll that you succeeded, so it would have been at the end of the 3, or, during the third week, essentially.
Okay. So Rick will get whatever supplies and have Nathan do the execution. But assuming Victor thinks this blood thing is legit and hook himself up to an IV to pull a leader out, and as well as and suggest that anybody else who wants to contribute, because
At least it's a lot of blood to take out from yourself.
that's about what you give on a regular donation.
No, that is far exceeding.
You only get like, it's like a pint in a donation, right?
A pint is like about 400 milliliters. You took about like 2.5 times the regular donation there.
Yeah, you only have like 6 liters in your body. Donation is what?
You could give yourself an embolism of just taking a liter of blood out.
Yeah, donating.
Whatever the amount is, that you donate. No, I don't want one of those. That sounds bad. It says, okay, so the target is to collect 500 milliliters with a minimum of 460.
Yeah.
So a little more than a pint.
I'm imagining Rick like holding on to Navy. And you're just like dry.
But yeah,
I think
he'll go ahead. Like, assuming Victor thinks this is all legit, then he's like, well, we need to start getting some blood together, and that's exactly what he'll do.
And with that knock at the door, who's gonna answer the door? You're not expecting any visitors.
I'll do it. I put my eye to the peephole. What do I see?
It is an older gentleman.
Oh, Baxter.
Long coat, top hat, and cane. I don't think Vanessa knows Baxter.
But seeing a man with a top hat, he's instantly won my trust. I'm very easily impressed by stuff like that, and I will undo the chain on the door that and then open it up.
Yeah, Rick is on the side of the door where when Vanessa opens it, he's behind the door with pistol drawn, pointed to be able to shoot through the wood, and tactically, in cases Vasquez or something. And then he just starts undoing the chain, and Rick looks so confused.
Top hat.
Oh.
Baxter immediately steps into the room. Good day, Cecil, Victor, Vanessa, Nora, Nathan, and I'm assuming Rick's behind the door with pistol drawn, isn't he? And with that,
there's a shuffle in your leg, and you hear Rick go, "Not anymore."
And with that, we're gonna go on break, everybody. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes.
Awesome.
And we are back with the entrance of Baxter.
Such a good dog name.
He takes off his top hat as soon as he enters the room.
Hello there.
You're always dressed so impeccably, Baxter.
It's good to see you again.
I don't believe I've seen you before, but I'm sure you were there at the party.
Oh, I indeed see you, all spotlit.
Good to meet you, I think. And Rick will hold his hand out.
Yes, and he gives you a nice firm handshake, something respectable. He's not trying to crush your hand, but he's letting you know that he's there.
Yeah.
We have so much to discuss.
Yes, we do.
I'm sorry. My rudeness got the best of me here. It's an improper habit. So let me ask in retrospect here. May I come in?
Of course. That's why I invited you.
Excellent. Is there any place for me? And he kind of looks about the room.
It's a hotel room. What do you?
Yes.
I can't pull out of bed.
There's probably like the little tiny like office desk with like a little chair or something like that.
I don't suppose. No, there's no coat rack in this room. I will just. I will remain standing.
The adjoining room has a small wardrobe if you want to hang something. Don't mind the flower petals all over the floor. We haven't let housekeeping come in.
Nora looks like she's about ready to...
Nora has many people who care for her that sent her well wishes.
He starts looking through the room, noticing the amount of flowers, etc. Yes, I am somewhat aware of the injuries that were sustained. Not while I'm here. Not while I'm here, though. So...
How did you find us?
Well... It's not all that hard, honestly.
Expected a phone call, not a visit.
The
fact that we're in Dublin is fairly obvious, but... Past that...
I was somewhat aware of Vasco's investigation into the Abbey. I had been doing my own digging, and when a certain lieutenant begins making certain number of phone calls within a given period, I, of course, somewhat took notice of that, and somewhat put two and two together that he was under the employ of your lovely self. And he gives a rather large smile at the group.
That is a phrasing.
So, I've obviously got that phone wiretapped, so I know bits and pieces here and there. I would, of course, rather hear it all in person and discuss your future within the Abbey.
Oh, well. Let's start with a bit of silent reading time, shall we? And he'll pull out like a notebook. Basically, he'll grab the thing that he gave to Guinevere and hand it to Baxter. Feel like as much as you know, this one particular man seems to have been a blind spot for a while, judging by the fact that he's alive, at least.
As he reads it, he does take time to peruse it. You see him reread a couple of segments, and he kind of, eventually, an hour or so later, he kind of nods, puts the notepad on the table, and goes, "Yes, it seems... Well, certain slashers are able to keep themselves under wrap for as long as they really want to. Depending, as long as they don't make any overt moves and keep certain tendencies of theirs under wraps. I was afraid of this when I came across your little whatever you want to call it. Sorry, words are escaping me as he kind of puts a hand on the notepad and taps it gently.
That's fair.
So, I'm pretty sure I know my next steps. What I don't know are your next steps.
We kind of look around the group and say, well, personally, I'd like to put a bullet in Mr. Cane Man on account of having arranged people to hunt hunters. It doesn't feel like a thing that can be allowed to continue on. I need Basque to not be hunting me. Makes flight plans much harder to file. And we have a slug monster to kill. And he'll kind of look at the group and be like, anything else?
Check out the forest, the mountain range to the south of here. Not range, was it? What was it? I get. It was the Wicklow Mountains National Park.
Right, the hunch.
Yeah. Well, we're here, like, we may as well.
Yeah.
It's been, 2 weeks and we haven't killed anything? I'm getting a bit itchy.
That's fair, honestly.
My dear Vanessa, you might want to keep tendencies like that in check. That's how, well, unfortunately, that's how we got into this type of situation to begin with.
I'm talking about monsters. I'm not talking about people.
That's how it always starts.
Are you telling me, as a member of the Ashwood Abbey, that I shouldn't be hunting monsters?
Oh, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be hunting monsters. I'm saying that you're getting itchy over the fact of not hunting. That's the problematic part. So, I can arrange the private flight plans, even if Vasco doesn't back off. I can arrange you guys in and out of this country easily. I have certain holdings within certain airlines that would allow me to do so. However, I feel like the greater question here is how important are these things to you?
Are you
What?
trying to set a price tag on them, or are you trying to figure out how much effort we need to put into it?
I'm trying to figure out how the amount of time I should give you to deal with these applicable things before I make certain demands.
What kind of demands?
Well, one, I need to take you all back to Edinburgh.
Well, at least it ain't Glasgow.
I feel like anybody that you know that can be trusted needs to also be made aware of the ongoing situation in London and to abandon it. I feel like accolades are also necessary as well. He kind of pats the thing. For what it's worth, I'm willing to make sure the necessary paperwork gets done to make sure you receive the accolades that are deserved, that are warranted due to this. And
Hey.
obviously, I would want to. I had every intention, if you had nothing else that you wanted to wrap up, so to speak, I was gonna fly you out to Edinburgh tonight and get things started. However, it seems like you guys have things that require your attention, and I would prefer you to be of clear hearts and minds when you make this journey.
Yeah, like, I want to finish this. I want to just go to the Wicklow. It might be something. Could be possibly nothing at all.
What do you think, Victor?
I think it's entirely feasible. I don't have any issues. I would like to see this matter resolved as swiftly as possible. I hate making things wait, per se, but well, we've already waited long enough, I suppose.
So what's the quick... we could pass off what we know about Slugman to someone else and let it be handled. More concerned with Strauss. These games seem like they were put together to thin the herd.
Thin the herd and see which one of you, since, and he goes, actually, before I spout off willy-nilly without nary a reason to spout my paranoia, do you have the list that you were sent to hunt?
No. We destroyed that in like a few seconds. So Rick remembers it.
Vanessa ate it.
I didn't eat it. Gross.
Well, then I will just spout my paranoia. I also feel like this was an attempt to see who would falter and make good candidates for recruitment.
Kill the weak ones. See if Jasper's up for a promotion or not, to see how many he can collect at the same time. And skim the cream for recruitment back to Pittsburgh. All in one go.
Cecil, my boy. You've been quiet.
I do have someone in London still, but she can get out.
She doesn't have any connection to the organization, correct?
No. Just to me.
I can send some reputable members to make sure that she is safe. We will also be making sure that the country club is intact as well. We realize that it belongs to you, and we feel the actual, and he kind of smirks, the actual members that have any sort of say deem that you should keep it. However, anybody that you do not put on a list immediately, we will be sending operatives into the streets of London to clean house. We're washing the plate clean.
Victor, obviously is going to extend an exception towards his family, given their involvement in the in the Abbey.
Yep.
Cecil might not.
I don't think there's anyone Rick would put on a list.
It's only really his parents that have required of him to be in the Abbey. And hey, this might be his shot to get out. Maybe.
Murdering your parents?
He's not murdering his parents.
By not stopping someone else from doing it.
Signing the order.
They're neck deep with everything that is so wrong with the London set of the Abbey that Baxter wants to get rid of them all.
Yeah, you know, what few people Rick have that might be important in London, they're not associated with the organization. And anyone any closer than that wouldn't be on this continent. So
Yeah, Vanessa doesn't really have anybody in the Abbey she particularly cares about, so she's fine. Just, you know, scorched earth approach with the rest of the Abbey.
He holds up the one sheet of paper that Victor gave him. That's all that's worth saving? Going once? Going twice?
we haven't been terribly impressed with those we've encountered so far.
I would assume not. You seem to actually be of Abbey material, unlike the rest of the scum that I'm going to purge.
Yeah.
If you have anyone not associated with the group that you would like me to place under any sort of protection in case somebody tries to get persnickety.
Yeah, actually, if you could get my grandma and my adoptive sister, Elizabeth, out of London, that'd be fantastic.
Certainly can be arranged. We will do this before we make our move to and purge the streets.
Much obliged.
Nora probably wouldn't see it, but like the when he asked for that, like the there's probably only a couple of names on Rick's list, and Elizabeth would be one of them. Like he'd put Elizabeth's name, and he'd put he'd probably put the Claire's name on there, even though he knows Victor is going to as well. And then he'd put the name of a couple of people from the Deerfoot, who are probably also tied up in court proceedings, which can make things potentially complicated. He'd put little asterisks by them, like a little asterisk, and then out at the bottom put like maybe a non-extraditable country for these.
Victor won't necessarily put Daniel, his police ally, on the list. But after this concludes, he'll probably give him some heads up as to what might be happening. Forewarn him that he not necessarily in danger, but that things might get spicy in London soon.
I'm not saying you're in danger, but you may die soon if you don't keep an eye over your shoulder.
I'm not saying you're in danger, but you might want to take a vacation.
And don't worry.
Sure.
And don't worry, this wet work we're going to be performing is going to be very neat and tidy.
I would hope so.
We're not going to be marching down the streets like a militia with guns drawn. No.
That sounds far too American.
But we're gonna solve our things with garrote wire. So, one list is considerably longer than the... Well, that just happens to be the case then. So, what I recommend, get your affairs set. And then come meet me at the Edinburgh branch. And I will have the Royal Council and the Ring on standby to meet you personally.
The Royal Council.
Was that in character?
Yes.
No.
Oh, I meant that.
Oh,
I was talking about
Me.
Ron.
Yeah, the Royal Council.
Like,
Well, sorry, I was
actually-
just remembering a Kung Pao like reference going through my head. If anybody's ever watched that.
Mhm.
I was like, you're not actually mocking this guy who's talking about purging London of all Abbey members, are you?
No. I sometimes speak before I think. Actually, very often I do.
She's been punched in the face a lot. We just learned to pretend. We'll see you in Edinburgh as soon as we can. You can keep the dossier.
Also, I will go ahead and let you know that you will have a certain degree of leeway with what I'm going to offer you. Your wildest dreams can come true. He kind of smirks, selling that a little bit. You want to... There's a part inside of you that is saying, he's just upselling. However, there's also a part that goes with these older members of the Abbey. That's a level of money that is unfathomable even to members such as yourself.
Even to Rick, who man who has everything.
I await for you
You're
in
always-
Edinburgh.
There's always somebody who has more.
And with that, he takes his top hat and makes his way for the door. He does leave the dossier, and he does turn as he goes to leave. Go ahead and keep that. I don't necessarily need it. It pretty much just confirms my paranoia.
Rick will just like hand it back to Quinn and say, I've already memorized it. It's fine. And just hands it to Quinn. Guinevere.
I look forward to working with you very closely in the near future. And with
As
that,
do I.
he takes his leave.
Back stuff.
Bye.
Well.
Quite a turn of events.
I think that was the most productive voicemail I've ever left.
And you didn't even put any details into it.
I didn't think it was necessary. Honestly, if I'd have put details into it, he might have not shown.
Well, I suppose that begs the question: do we head there straight away, or do we get our affairs in order?
You guys really want to go to Edinburgh now?
I don't.
You could do that.
I honestly don't care about the slug thing. We can handle it at any time, or we can make some calls and have it handed off.
I'd like to see to it personally, but
Do you know how to kill it yet?
I have possibilities. Yes.
That's... No. Not Do you know maybe a thing that might work? Do you know how to kill it yet?
There's still some research to be done. I've found some leads, but I've yet to exhaust all possible options. But I have something perhaps worth trying.
So nothing to do there yet, but read more. Strauss, we have no idea where he's at, but the people in Edinburgh might. What else do we have to do? They're going to handle cleanup in London. They're going to handle getting our people out. And they're probably the ones who know where Strauss is.
I think Vanessa had mentioned something of a...
Blue Mountain.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How important is that to you, Vanessa? Well, we're here.
I would like to check it out. But if you guys really go to Edinburgh,
I think we can check it out.
it's not going to be too much of a problem for me. You can
I
always
think
come back later.
No, I think we're here. We can handle that.
Shouldn't take too much time.
No, you just hike out into the woods and back, right? Day or two at most. Depending on what turns up.
Fair enough.
There's a bridge there called I Love You Bridge.
How quaint.
Do they write their names on papers and put them on locks and lock them on the bridge like that dumb one in Paris?
I have no idea.
It's
what Google's saying.
it's the bridge from a movie. P.S. I Love You, I think.
Ugh. In character.
Nor and Rick both do that at the same exact time.
And then I kind of nod appreciatively at Rick that we finally agree on something like, okay, this might be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Vanessa's more
probably not,
movies
but yeah.
like Die Hard than she is romantic comedies and whatnot.
Wait,
Not a
Vanessa
big
likes
fan.
romantic comedies?
No, likes action movies like Die Hard. Not a big fan of romantic comedies. Not a big, was it Heath Ledger fan or whatever? No. Just a very, never mind, don't worry about it. I'm not.
Off for a day trip to Wicklow.
Wicklow Mountains.
Let's do it.
3.1425 minus 6. Let's go.
The drive is... So actually, here's the question. Do you guys drive up there, or do you guys take a tour bus up there?
There is no way that at least 50% of us are willing to get on a freaking tour bus.
I vote for tour bus.
Tour bus. Yep.
Cecil. I'm like,
Maybe we
elbowing
get to ride.
Cecil.
Oh wait, no, my character's probably definitely ridden in a double-decker bus.
I'm not driving it, no.
He's not driving the tour bus, but will he get on it?
No, that's his point. It's not something that I'm driving. And right now, being in a giant target like that while not at the controls is not something Cecil wants.
Ugh, you guys are no fun.
But we're alive.
Y'all don't think we're actually out of danger now, do you?
No, of course not.
God,
But
no.
life's short.
If we
It gets
drive
a hell
a
of a
tour
lot
bus, it might
shorter.
be.
What?
Let's just rent a car and have a quick little road trip.
Road trip.
Road trip.
Well,
Vanessa and I'll go get snacks.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back in.
it takes you a
Isn't
little
it?
bit to get there.
They get Cheetos, and that's when Nathan knows.
Hey, this is a renting bus. Yeah.
However, the problem is once you get there, you realize that it is not necessarily right next to the road.
It is not.
You
A lot
have,
of burns. Sorry.
yeah, you have to hike a little bit. Not
Oh yeah.
pleasant, but it's doable. After,
I spy with my little eye something beginning with F.
a little man-made fairy circle.
Oh. Oh, I was talking about ferns, but okay, that works. pure chance there.
But yes, that is what you find, is what appears to be a man-made fairy circle. Or at least,
Like somebody's.
or what you would assume a fairy circle would be.
Like constructed of like stones, or are we talking about like mushrooms here?
Stones and mushrooms.
Ooh.
Mushrooms growing out of stones.
Now doesn't this just scream like something's fucking something wrong?
Definitely screams like something occult. Speaking of,
Also speaking of, Vanessa, give me your memory roll.
Oh yeah, this is jugging something.
And Rick, you can go ahead and give me that occult roll as well.
all right. Just intelligence and occult. I'll spend a willpower for Vanessa.
You hear that, Vanessa?
One success.
just out of curiosity, can you just like roll that dice pool again without spending the willpower? I just want to see what you get.
Oh, when I don't care, one success.
No.
So, Victor, you got 2 successes as well. For the intelligence plus occult there. So, Vanessa, with your 3 successes, you remember this. Well, not this. You never got this far. You never got here. That as you begin to recall, the little altercation led to your immediate deportation from the country.
Oh.
However, you do remember that room in the house back in London. You remember sitting around a table. One of the cell members points down. Okay, we're gonna go here. It's far enough off the beaten track. We're not gonna have to worry about people bugging us. We're gonna set up the summoning circle here. We're going to open the gate. This thing's gonna walk through. We're gonna get it on video. And then we're gonna try to talk to it, or should things go south, Vanessa, you're okay with punching a literal god? You hear your voice go, yeah, I got you guys covered if things go south. I mean, and then another one speaks up, if we're able to get this on film, who knows what this actually means for the world. If all these sources are true, this means like Zeus is real and Odin might be real. Like, this is huge.
Hey.
And basically, you remember what seemed in your mind, it's hazy, but you're not sure if it's because the memory itself is hazy or if literally Vanessa was starting to fall asleep.
A lot of talking, not enough action.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like, and yeah, she sees the second. It's like, oh, I think I remember now. We never got this far.
Victor and Rick, you very much are aware. Yes, this is a fairy circle, but this is a very specific type of fairy circle. This is one designed to summon. However, the stones are roughly 30 degrees in the wrong position, each one of them. They all need to be rotated roughly about 30 degrees.
Yeah, we were supposed to summon some god here, talk to it, and probably punch it. Yeah.
Vanessa, you get visibly excited
Maybe
when you
go
say...
for. Yeah, I'm like, I'm kind of liking this idea. And then I think we were talking about punching Zeus or something.
Who set this up?
I don't know who set this up. We never got here. If I
Y'all
remember
never got
right,
here?
Let
Or
me-
you never
we got
here?
deported.
Let
before we
me-
did.
Let me make sure something's understood. You were deported.
Hey, I was deported. No, okay. Maybe they got here. Yeah, I want to look around the site, maybe see if there's any signs of people recently being here. Maybe a dropped camera or something, or.
Give me a perception.
Yeah, it's just what's in composure. Boop.
Hey, Victor, something look
Four
weird here to
successes.
you?
This place hasn't
Yeah.
been touched in several years.
Okay.
It does seem to have some significance, yes.
It's like these kind of things, they're tied to solar, lunar constellations, different things. But if you look at if you look at the this and the that and this, shouldn't everything be twisted a bit? Isn't this a bit askew?
It does seem a bit off kilter, yes. Though if this is what I think it is, I'm not exactly eager to turn the key.
Turn it. I have my camera out. Like, turn it.
Yeah.
Something like this is more than just putting the rocks in the right place, but what could this mistake do? How would this affect?
Speaking as someone who has some experience in warding and binding, these things are they need to be rather precise in manner. Even the smallest mistake can invalidate one's entire work. One loose, errant thread in the tapestry, and the entire thing can unravel. It's very possible someone, not necessarily very possible, but there is the slight possibility that something tangible is here and was summoned at some point, if we want to go down that line of possibility. And if this is the case, it's very possibly whatever they intended to contain was not so thoroughly bound.
So is this the kind of mistake that would result in the wrong thing being summoned, the right thing being summoned in a way that made it angry, or the right thing being summoned but not bound?
You want to give me a roll on that, Victor?
Sure. Intelligence and occult again?
Yep.
Sure. I'll rack the relative plausibility of each of those scenarios. You know what? Let's go ahead and spend a willpower on that. Why not?
Yeah, Rick?
Did you trust everybody you were with?
I don't remember, but
5
was supposed to-
successes.
I'm very aware of those 5 successes. This is the type of mistake that would summon the wrong thing.
Well, I'm going to share that.
yeah, to answer Rick's question, but I don't think he had a reason not to trust them.
So, did somebody make a mistake in the diagrams and accidentally summon the wrong thing? Or did somebody set you up? And you summoned the wrong thing because somebody else wanted you to?
I think we're just doing this for fun or something. Like,
I think we might have been pretending for too long. I think we're starting to grasp at anything that we can. As fun as all this paranoia has been, perhaps it's time to reel things in a bit.
So how is it supposed to look? Like, which way are we supposed to turn the stones? For no reason.
You know what? I want people to roll empathy on that one. Because I don't think Nora's being fully honest there.
What's that?
No.
Wits and empathy.
I got one success.
On one die.
Oh, I don't have 9 again on that. My bad.
No.
Rick, do you have 9 again on empathy?
No.
Ray, roll, please.
I think I need to refresh my sheet. 1 second.
Okay. So far,
Wow.
only Vanessa. So far.
And Vanessa would totally just back me up.
Yeah, I think Vanessa's just gonna push the narrative here.
Yeah, well, it's not fun if we don't open it.
Victor will, say, well, this orientation is off. They should be turned a bit this way, but there's no guarantee that will do anything. There might be some rite or incantation, some time of day or season or something that might.
Right day of the lunar
Necessary.
cycle under the right constellation under.
I haven't done any of the research, so
I'm gonna
I
turn the
couldn't-
rocks. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. What do I have to roll?
You don't have to roll anything. It's moving rocks, essentially.
I mean,
Victor's-
you could try to stop me.
Victor's not going to stop you. He's pretty confident that just manipulating it randomly isn't going to force some deity to appear. He's confident enough that to entertain Nora with this.
Yeah, I feel like Rick's the same. I feel like Rick is of the opinion that putting the rocks in the right place isn't going to be enough. So let her have her fun.
Famous last words, Rick. Let's do this.
They might be.
Especially because as soon as the rocks are in place, Vanessa, during this entire time, the memory of that conversation keeps coming back. And it's at this point, I'm not even going to try to speak Gaelic because
That's a good idea.
I am just not I'm just not proficient. Not to the point where I should be, honestly. 1/4 Irish.
Just sing the national anthem while trying to gargle some water. You got roughly halfway there.
During this conversation, Vanessa does eventually tune back in towards the end, where they are repeating the incantation needed.
I'm doing some practice on it. the gears are turning and ticking in like Vanessa's head, and you know what? Like, why not? I'm interested. See what happened. Let's go. And I will say the Gaelic words of power.
Look at Cecil's
God.
face.
It's like no.
Rick and Victor,
Yes.
once you start hearing Gaelic come out of Vanessa's mouth, it's
I remembered it, guys.
Drugs. It's not gonna be whatever came through last time. So
High five, Vanessa. Women supporting women.
the wind picks up for a moment and then dies down.
I have my camera like on the ready.
Nothing appears.
Ugh.
Oh. Twomp.
I kick one of the rocks. But I have like 0 strength, so I just basically stub right through and nothing. It doesn't even move. It's just like I'm like a waif.
Now, young lady, don't go kicking rocks that don't belong to you.
you made the God Rock mad. Great job. Wait, did I? Okay, we're back to pretending again.
Look around for where this voice is coming from.
A hand is placed on Rick's shoulder. No need to pretend. No need to pretend. There's no pretending here.
And I kind of look at the hand, and there's a twitch in my hand. There's like a twitch on my right hand. And I'm like, no, it is what it's supposed to be. It's not a great idea.
It is covered in exceedingly thick brown fur with claws at the end.
Oh, if it kills Rick, my day is made.
Yeah.
Master plan.
And I'll just kind of like reach up to my shoulder and just like pat the top of the hand and be like, as I like step and like pull my shoulder out from this very gently and be like, hi.
You are. I'm assuming at this point everybody has turned to look at poor Rick in this situation.
Yeah. Show me what this. Baby.
Roughly about 7 foot tall.
Was this the familiar voice?
Familiar for you? No, nobody has heard this voice before.
Oh.
Not that bear man.
Yeah, we just meet him out an island. I thought you're gonna go further than just island.
He is wearing what you would describe as robes. Very humanoid, except for the fact that his head sports 2 gigantic antlers. His face is somewhat goatish as well, with a very long beard, kind of like a billy goat.
Hello. Are you? And I check my notes. Serenus.
Cernunos.
Cernunus, Kernanos. I have so many different pronunciations, so little time. The little one with the camera, please. The flash is quite bright.
Oh, there's no flash. It's a video camera.
Ah. I figured you would be taking snapshots.
Oh, also, right, probably. Then I put the disposable camera in my pocket and continue filming. I'm like multitasking. Wishing I had more arms.
I'm. Oh. Okay. I'm I'm looking for my friends, and I think they came here a while ago. Do you know Zach, Jennifer, Ivan, or Nestor?
They were the ones that initially tried to make the circle, made it wrong, and summoned something akin to myself, but something not from where I am.
Where are you from?
Oh, that is a very loaded question. Where am I not from? And then he kind of looks at Vanessa. Did you really summon me on a whim? Essentially.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of looks over, trying to see if he can get a more sensible answer from anybody.
Oh, that checks out, actually.
I do most of the things I do on a whim.
It's true.
Has worked out so far.
To be perfectly
I
honest,
mean-
I don't think we were anticipating for anyone to respond.
I mean, this is a crude circle, I would say. It's enough for me to make contact. I can interact with things physically. And he kind of looks at Vanessa. Well, as for your friends, I don't particularly know. I stopped watching once they bungled this up.
Oh. You think they summoned something else?
Oh, they most certainly did.
You know what this something else is?
It is a creature, that lives in a place in your cosmology that is known as the Hedge.
Never heard of that. I guess Grog know what that is, but I've never heard of it.
That does not surprise me. It is not a place that mortals dare dwell, lest they become something other than mortal.
Is it possible to go there? Like, I would like to try to find them if I can. Like, are they is there like a chance I could find them, or is this like the kind of place where they're just dead already and I don't even know about it?
Ooh, well, the second option is certainly plausible. Another one was they were dragged further beyond the hedge to an area known as Arcadia, but I would not recommend going there.
Why not?
Oh, if the hedge changes you from not being a mortal, then Arcadia, ooh. I don't know how to explain Arcadia to one such as yourself.
No, you're just gonna not try? Okay.
It is like explaining color to a creature without eyes.
You're kind of making me want to go there now. Like, what? Like, you're saying this is like the equivalent of seeing color for the first time?
Road trip.
Blue tastes like salt.
How can I get that? Like, is there like a ritual or something that I could use?
No. The most standard way of getting there is to be taken there, honestly. Some being captures you in the middle of the night, hauls you off, and makes you its pet.
A life of leisure.
He literally laughs like that.
Okay. Get captured, be made pet, and then find friends. Okay.
That's the
Well,
plan
to go
for me.
Honestly, what do I call you?
No. Anything that's not insulting.
I'm just I'm just gonna go with not using anything. If you could give Vanessa something maybe a bit more concrete, because if you don't, she may accidentally burn down the shed trying to find it.
Why? You see, he's somewhat exasperated. In what sort of position are you to be making any sort of demands of me?
Oh no, that was not a demand. That was a request. I mean, you're here anyway. You're talking to us, and honestly, we need her focused on other stuff. So maybe if you could just be so kind as to give her a bit of what she's looking for.
I mean,
Put her at ease a bit.
Haven't I already given her a little bit of that? I mean, I could restore her memory if she wants. I could do that.
Oh, do that. Do that. Do that.
Are you sure about this? There may be things you don't like.
Yeah. Oh, she's obviously put no thought into it whatsoever.
He walks towards Vanessa and places his hands on the sides of her head. Vanessa, your eyes roll into the back of your head and you drop like a sack of stones.
Oh, I try to catch her.
Give me strength plus athletics. Strength to actually do it, athletics to get there in time.
Oh,
That's
I'm
gonna
like
be
right
funny.
next to her, so I should just be able to.
Okay, then just give me strength.
I have one dice. Let's do this.
Lucky for you, I didn't pick up that giant merit.
Yeah, so far. Hang on, it's thinking. Did it go through?
It has not shown up on my end.
Yeah, it hasn't shown up.
My internet is so slow today.
Nope. Oh yeah, you got the wound penalty there. Should you still have?
You
There was
Oh,
no
you-
way I was gonna be able to.
You should.
Huh.
You shouldn't be wounded though anymore.
shouldn't have wound penalties at least.
Oh, really?
Because half of your boxes should be cleared of lethal.
Oh. So I just have bashing, which is 1 dash, right?
No, as in if you have let's say 6 lethal, you only have 3 lethal. Is what I mean.
Like the half of your boxes starting from the right should be clear, not downgraded.
Ah.
Yeah.
I thought it just was downgraded to bashing. Let me change that.
Yeah, bashing heals within 15 minutes. This trip took more than 15 minutes, so like there's no way you would have bashing.
Okay.
So if you want to give re-roll that, please.
Still 0.
You catch Vanessa, however, the weight is too much and both of you go to the ground. Plus,
But I walked in the fall.
yeah, I was gonna say, you cushion the landing.
Which is what I wanted to do anyways.
Well,
I didn't think I was gonna actually catch her.
well, she's unconscious now. And he kind of looks around like, I did what I was asked.
Do we have to like break something for you to go home, or do you just leave when you want to?
I leave when I want to. I came because I wanted to.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Thank you.
Well, to be fair, obviously, doing this correctly does bring me here. It obviously draws my attention. Not many people speak ancient Gaelic anymore.
Yeah, that was weird. Not gonna lie, didn't see that coming. Not sure she does. Actually, still not convinced, even though I heard her do it. So,
Kind of looks over at Victor and Cecil.
Ooh, Ooh, do something cool with your powers.
Do a magic trick.
Yeah, basically.
Rig just like pinches the bridge of his nose.
Please.
Oh dear God.
I mean,
I will sign anything. Like,
We're all gonna die.
Hold on. Don't offer beings that can take things anything they want.
I said I would sign something.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just offer to sign whatever they wanted you to as part of a deal to what appears to be some sort of like trickster fairy thing?
yeah, I was like, technically he does fall somewhat within the realm of the Fae.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nora
It's
made a deal with an
awesome.
arc fae. I love it.
Like, is there like a contract that we can get into? Or, you know? I'm sorry.
Our friend here is a bit of an artist. If you would be so inclined, she, I believe, would be more than willing to depict your majesty in some fashion.
Victor, give me a roll for that.
Sure, persuasion?
Yep, that sounds like persuasion to me. See how well you sell her as an artist, essentially.
I am an artist.
I gotta rep my friends, so I'll spend the willpower point on that. See if I can sell a photo shoot.
Negotiate with a god.
Yes. Wouldn't you like to be on the cover of some magazine? Come on.
I bet you're wishing you put that in as an aspiration now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's into his addiction for getting monsters flattering attention, so it's good enough for him. Let's see here. Manipulation, persuasion, willpower. 6 successes.
Jesus, with you tonight.
All
I
right.
make a hell of a sell, apparently.
With this smooth.
All in all of his glory.
I'm having to pull out a book that I didn't think I would tonight, but
Time for Nora to go mad trying to depict something horrific, perhaps.
Oh no, I didn't think I would be pulling open this book. Where is it? There it is, page 155. Here we go. What is this classified as? Okay. All right, so I need to make a roll first. What is gonna be this roll? So, okay. Sorry, I'm having to read something real quick because I didn't think I was gonna have to pull this out. That moment where you're just like, wait a second, I've got to. Blah blah blah. Billionaire playboys.
Archfey.
So, for those of you that are aware, which is going to be 3 of you, 2 of you aren't going to get this reference, except for Vanessa, because Vanessa is immune to this. Cecil and Victor, well, I should say the players, Rook and Genesis, your characters now act as if they are under the discipline awe from Vampire.
Okay.
Oh.
Basically, when this creature wills it, all eyes fall on him. Nobody cares what and nobody cares what he's doing. For the rest of the scene, he suffers no penalties to socials for actions or appearances, even if he's just beaten another man to death or waved a gun in a crowded nightclub. So, essentially, you can't look away from this gentleman, no matter how horrific his actions are. And then we're gonna follow it up with level 5 here, Idle. Enhances the aura to divine levels. Anyone affected must make a reflexive roll of resolve minus, in this case it's going to be 4, in order to take action to harm or embarrass this creature in any way. So he's making sure that he's not getting attacked while doing this, essentially. And he removes the robes from his body, and he stands there in some mixture of humanoid and bestial nature is the best way to describe it. Parts of it look goat, parts of it look deerish, other parts are just exceedingly humanoid. And it's almost as if, like, the ground around him begins to grow more green. Like, literally, nature is responding to his presence.
Not gonna lie, I totally have the Pillar Man theme just playing in my head right now.
And at this point, like, vines have started curling around his body.
Dope.
The vines then immediately start to produce flowers and start to bloom on his body.
That's awesome.
Rick kind of nudges Nora and he's like, start taking pictures.
I have been this entire time.
He's posing.
At this point, Vanessa wakes up.
Ugh. Do I remember anything?
Way too much for us to go into at this very moment.
Okay. I remember everything! Just wait for me later to actually figure it out. Oh.
You also have a massive migraine.
Ooh.
And
My
you,
head hurts.
and you very quickly see this being having these vines and flowers growing all over him.
Larry.
Let me know when this artist's work is done.
How do I contact you? Can I have a hotline to a fairy? I'm so excited.
I would not call myself a fairy.
Say that out loud. I'm thinking that, because he's like a god or whatever.
No, he would actually still respond. I wouldn't classify myself as a fairy. They are somewhat beneath me. Well, your friend there seems to know the right words, and you guys you've seen how to set up the stones. I am very busy, though. Unless there is something else that you wish of me. And you could convince me of it.
I think I'm good for now.
How much do you know about what's going on in our world?
That is variable. Is there a specific topic that you want to peruse my mind for?
But an old man by the name of Maximilian Strauss. It's a long shot, but
I'm thinking, like, he's bothering this god with this, like, thing. So I'm looking at him like,
you literally just made a deal with him because you wanted to see a magic trick.
yeah. Like, at least mine is cool.
Oh God.
We all get to see the magic trick. You're welcome, Rick.
Exactly which one of the flowers were you allergic to? I want to make sure I never order them again.
Well. Oh, this Maximilian Strauss. No, I have never heard of him.
Didn't think so.
Sorry that
Worth a
I've
shot.
not much help in that aspect. The day-to-day lives of ordinary mortals aren't necessarily something I pay close attention to.
I honestly can't blame you.
You seem to be suffering.
How so?
Something about your candor's off. You've seen some stuff, haven't you?
That's one way to put it. Why?
Cecil is going to respond, but he's staring.
He looks over at Cecil. Is there something you would like to say?
He's just going to keep quiet.
What is he thinking?
Well, it was just that it's just that so much has gone on that he was going to be like, that's kind of an understatement, when he was asking like what had been happening. So it was just he's not thinking a whole lot of clear thoughts. He's focused.
Well, this has been somewhat entertaining. I've never been summoned on such a random whim before. Well, I guess for Vanessa there, it wasn't so random. You fulfilled your group's wish. You going to spread the word of my existence to everyone? That was their goal, was it not?
Maybe.
I just wanted to do stuff.
Do you have an opinion on the matter?
That's what.
How would you best like your depiction, well, depicted?
That is like if an insect came, not to be rude, sorry, maybe insect is impolite. A lesser being came up to you and asked you how you would want your depiction. You have no correlation, no interest in their day-to-day. How would you want to be depicted?
Well,
Honestly, it's unlikely I talk about you at all. People will think I'm crazy at the best case scenario.
But you'll have photos. And he gestures over at Nora.
And videos.
Yeah. I've seen the show Supernatural too. Like, there's videos of lots of stuff.
Well, I've grown bored.
Fine.
I often feel that way when I talk to Rick also.
He has that effect on people.
And you guys don't even need to blink. He's just gone.
That was so cool, you guys!
Victor's, well, like, Nora's, like, fangirling about her. Victor's just gonna, like, go back over to the stone circle and, like, mess that thing up again. Like, make sure no one else accidentally whispers some Gaelic over it. Just to keep that, on the down low.
Vanessa is still in a lot of pain.
Like, one of the rocks, Rick will just like pick a few of the like symbols that are probably carved into them or something, and just like shoot the rock a couple times, like jack up a couple of symbols.
Victor would probably advise against destroying anything, considering he was literally just here.
And mad that I kicked one.
I feel like if he was mad about anything, we'd be dead.
Oh my god. I'm so done with Rick. God.
But there's a very real possibility we're not the only ones in this park, and gunshots probably carry a bit, I would surmise.
Probably. Fine.
Maybe just tastefully put things back where we found them.
I would advise against that, because that's what summoned the other thing.
Yeah, so just kind of move the rocks kind of
Kinda
away.
just, like,
Not
yeah,
like a circle.
messed them up a lot.
I'll just move one rock out.
Just taking that padlock combination, just spinning it every which way.
Yeah. Knock a few over on their sides. All the things. All the messed up edges.
And with that, as Vanessa still reels from the collection of memories in her head, we're gonna call this session. We'll go ahead and do we're gonna do our wrap up here. Cecil, you just spoke with a god.
And Cecil, under the effects of whatever that awe was, is now intensely sad that said god is no longer here. Unless that glamour like evaporates and
Nope.
he's like, what the hell was I doing staring at that? Yeah, the god is gone. Sadness. And like nothing else matters right now either, so like got a little lost in it.
How you doing, Rook?
Doing well. I'm still a bit tired, but we're okay.
Victor.
Yeah, I think Victor's doing pretty darn well. We have a pretty good lead on dealing with the Vascu nemesis and resolving our internal conflicts within the Abbey. And now, just to have the icing on top of the cake, we have a chance encounter with some deific fae figure, and Victor got more than he bargained for, so he's in pretty good spirits, I imagine.
What about you, Shinobi?
Yeah, doing good.
Nora.
Nora's like on a high right now. I'm excited. My addiction got met. I got to see some cool stuff. There are fairies, so that's awesome. Kind of want to go on a road trip with Vanessa to Arcadia. Not gonna lie, like that'd be amazing footage to have. And
Yeah, right?
yeah, girls' night. Yeah, I'm like tip top.
What about you? Mel?
Feeling good. Yeah, like this was fun today. I got to pester Rick a bunch. So that's always a good thing. For me personally, as Milena, I like annoying James. So.
Speaking of Rick,
Rick's good. Jasper's handled. Anybody else who's been previously annoying in the Abbey is now handled. We are on the path to handling the one that caused all that. Access to the Edinburgh branch means new sets of lore and books, so we've got a good shot at figuring out how to deal with the slug thing. We helped
one of his teammates make a major milestone personal goal for themselves. Rick's doing all right.
And what about you, James?
Well, I'm doing good too. I had a lot of fun this session. It was good to see Grog make some solid headway towards everything.
And sagging way on that, Vanessa.
Vanessa's pretty damn miserable. She's got a very, very killer migraine right now, and I don't know what's in those memories that she just got, but I don't imagine they're particularly good ones from what I've heard been described to me. Yeah. But hey, at least she has some, hopefully, closure now on what happened to her friends that disappeared.
And also maybe how she can get back on track with her MMA career.
Well, that was dead in the water before it began. For other reasons.
And what about you, Grog?
Yeah, I'm good. I finally accomplished an aspiration that I had set out for
The beginning.
at the beginning of this whole campaign. So finishing that up's pretty nice. But yeah, yeah, I'm doing well.
All right. And with that, we will see everybody next week.
Bye bye.
Bye.